In one way or the other, you might have filled a form online, all right? In this video, I'm going to walk you through on how this form is being created using HTML before they are being uploaded on different websites. Without taking much time, let's just get right into it. All right, the first step you need to take to create HTML form is to, create a folder where you will save your files locally on your PC first before you upload the file to your website at the end of the whole thing. Okay, so I'll click on File Explorer for it to open, and then choose a a folder of your choice where you want to save these files. Okay, so I'll click on Documents. Okay, so as I click on Documents, I want to save this thing I'm going to be creating in a different folder. Okay, so let me work with this. I have a folder already created here. I call it YTHTML, which stands for YouTube. Okay, so you can create a fresh folder for this particular class. All right, so I'll double click on this for this to open. I have already one HTML file here. So I want this one to stay on its own. So I'm going to create another folder inside this. So I'll click on new and select folder. Okay. So let me call this thing HTML form. All right. Because that is what I want to create here. HTML forms or form, anyone. Press enter for it to save. Okay. So what this means is that any file we are going to be creating now is going to be saved inside this. Okay, so let's start our creation. First is that I have to click on this start button, all right, and I will launch a code editor that will allow us to do this. And I want to use VS Code, okay? I've already installed it on my PC, it's Visual Studio Code on my Microsoft. So if you want to use it, please install it from your Microsoft Store or through the web and then follow suit, okay? So I'll click on it for it to open. All right, so once it opens, I'll maximize this for it to look like this. Then the next step is that we are going to call that folder we created now. To tell the folder, we want to be saving any file we are going to be creating here inside you. So how do we do that? You click on this, okay? Sorry, how do you do that? You click on File, okay? Then as you click on File, select the option of Open Folder, okay? So I'll click on Open Folder. This displays a folder in my PC or some folders in my PC. But remember, you're going to navigate to the folder where you created before, okay, for you to be saving the codes. So I'll click on Documents, then I will scroll down to YouTube HTML, okay, YT Then this is the folder then, all right, if you can remember, I called it HTML form. So I'll click on it once for it to be selected and click on this button, Select Folder. All right, so once you are here, you are going to start the creation of your file, okay? Because now you have now called the folder. This is where we want to be saving all the files we're going to be creating now. So this is new file. So click on this new file button. Once you click on this new file button, you have to give this new file button a name. All right, you have to give this new file a name, the one we are going to be putting inside this folder. Then let's call this form. Okay, let's call it form1 dot html. This must end with html because you're informing this program, this VS Code, that it is html file we want to create. All right, so it must end with .html. All right, after that, press the enter key of your computer keyboard for it to save. And you are taking to this. Here is telling you open chat, a lot of things, but that's by the way. Now we are going to tell this program we want to use HTML5 because there are so many HTML versions. So start typing HTML. All right, you can see HTML5 as an option here. I have this, but this is what you're interested in. So click on this. All right, so this is the template, the structure of HTML, general structure of HTML. Okay, so we are expected to have every code you want to have here inside this body section. All right, so I'll press enter to have more space. You may not do that anyway, but I like having space when I'm working on this. This space is not going to impart on the code when we view it through a web browser. Okay, so it's just for me to have a clear view of what I'm working on. Okay, so how do we start now? I want to give this a heading, so let's call this h1. Okay, h1. Okay, you can see I suggested to me. I'll click on this. So in between it, let me call the students form, all right? Students form. You can call it anything of your choice, students form. But in my case, I want to call this students form, all right? Students form, because I want to collect some students information. Maybe I want to create a page on my website whereby I want people that want to register a course that I teach on YouTube to fill some things, okay? So after creating, I'll upload this and I'll send link to people that want to register. All right, they'll go to the website and register and submit to my server. Okay, so this is students form as the title. That is what H1 stand for, heading. So I'll press enter to jump to the next line. Now I want to go and bring in a structure that will help us to do this faster. Okay, so I will go and copy the structure and paste this here, and then we start editing and structure our file the way we want it to be, our form. Okay, so I have the structure here. The first one says form action. This is how the code will look like. Okay, so you can copy it and place in your own code editor. All right, so we are going to make some modifications here, all right, to suit into what you want to do. Okay, the first is form action. That is what you must say for you to start creating form for us. Action underscore page.php. All right, this is the page where people are going to submit this form to at the end of the whole thing. My students are going to submit it. Okay, people that want to register. So I have already created this page on my website. All right, named it this way. Okay, that's how it's gonna be. Okay, then you start with this font label. Okay, label for first name this. What this means is that you're telling them to fill their first name. All right, this is F name. All right, then what they are going to see on the web page is first name. But if you want to change this, you can change this. All right, but I don't want to change it. Okay, so after this label section, you have the next section, the next element, input type. You're telling this that this is a type of particular thing, and this is a type of particular document, or kind of. So input type is text, because you want them to fill text, all right, and not just numbers or any other type of data. Okay, so this is text, id, f name. You are quoting this name here, all right, that is what it stands for, f name. Name, f name as well. So you're going to repeat this, and this is break, meaning that this is the first part. I'm done with this first part. Let's get to the second part. So I like separating this so that it do not be confusing. So once I click here, I'll click the enter key so that this we know that we are done with this one. We are going into this one. Then this one starts again. Label from L name. This L name stands for last name. Okay, so it's an attribute. You're telling me this is L name. That's the attribute to this, and this is the text they're going to see on the web. Last name. All right. Then label close, because it's a label. All right. Then input type text. All right, id, our name. You're quoting this, all right, so that this we know that this is pertaining to this, all right, and then name, our name, all right. Then you have break as well. Then you get to submit. But I want to add some information more. This is too short, so I'll press enter, enter again. I want to copy this. This is going to serve as my template for me to add other information I want to have in this HTML. Control C to copy it. I'll get down here, then Control V to paste it. Enter. All right, good. So now what do I want to have here? State. Okay, let me call this one state. Okay, let's say YS. Let it start as the attribute now. Y state. You can call it anything as I said, and I will edit this information to be your state. Okay, so I want to know the student state of origin. Okay, your states. Beautiful. Then input type text. Yes, it's a text. ID is not going to be L name again. I'm going to change this to YS. It's going to quote that in Y state. Okay, Y state. Then I will change this again to Y state. Everything must be in line. All right. Okay. So break, good and fine. Then submit should stay as it is. So maybe I'll close this space a little. So let's assume this is the kind of simple form I want to, create here. Before you go ahead and test it out, you have to save. I'll click on F and click on file and click on save. this is saved. All right. So let's go and see how this will look on a web browser. So I'll click on this file explorer, and I have already been here in my HTML form. I have now created a file here. So I'll double click on it for it to open. That is what we call the form one. If you remember that time, we call it form one.html. Can you remember? Yeah, you can. So now let's open this. I'll right click here, and then I will select the option for open with. Let me go with Google Chrome. Okay. Then you can see what we have done now. First name, last name, your state. Okay. So if, for example, that this is well, arranged in a way that there is a link here that they will submit that. Once they click on submit, this will be submitted to my own website. Then I will see the content my students fill. All right. But let's go and add something more here. I think this is too simple. Okay. I will get back here to my code, VS Code. Then I have already copied this as my template. So enter. Let me just have this. Control V to paste it. Okay, enter to have space. So let's say I want to get the student's email address. Okay, so let's say, let me call this your email or your email address. Anyone, they know what I'm trying to say. Why email? Okay, that's abbreviation, your email. All right, then it's not going to be last name again. I will call this your email. All right, your email. You can call it your email or email address. All right. So anyone is okay. Let me call it email address. Just it's okay. No need. Then input type here is going to be Y email. All right. Quoting what we have there at the top. Y email. And this L name is going to take the space of the, we're going to replace it with Y email. All right. Okay. Y email. Okay, sorry, we made a mistake here. This is gonna be text. Sorry, text. Okay, sorry, because that's the type of file. Then here we're gonna be y email. Okay, and we are cool. So after this, if you want to add more information, you have seen the template how it looks like, so you can add more information. But before we go and test out, let's save again. I'll click on file and I'll click on save. All right. So I'll get back to my browser and then I'll refresh this. You can see it has introduced your email. I believe this content helps you. Please, if it does help, consider subscribing to this channel. Here we cover a lot on technology, including basic internet and computer knowledge. Alright, so subscribe and learn more. Leave a comment in the comment section and hit the like button so that YouTube will recommend this video to more people. You can watch this video here to learn more on HTML. Thank you and see you some other time. Stay blessed.